foundation of gratitude, owning your beginning family, I want you to lean in close. I want you to hear me, not just with your ears, but with your spirit, because what I'm about to share with you is not just a message, it's a movement. It's a heart-led revolution of truth, transformation, and total life shift. And it begins not with success, but with gratitude. Now let me ask you something. Don't just nod your head, say it with me. How many of y'all have ever prayed for the very thing you're now complaining about? Oh yeah, I said it, I went there. I remember when I used to pray just to be able to pay the light bill on. Can't fake it. It's got to come from deep inside, from that part of you that knows you were made for more, even if your life don't look like it right now. So here's what I want you to do. Every morning for the next 21 days, I want you to write down 3 things you're grateful for. And not just the easy stuff, not just I'm grateful for my coffee. I mean soul gratitude. I want you to thank your failures. I want you to thank the pain. I want you to say, I'm grateful for what broke me because it built me. I want you to say, I'm grateful for what left because it made space for what's coming. Somebody say it with me. I'm grateful. I would count coins just to make it work. And now, baby, I got bills on auto pay. And sometimes I still grumble over them. Can I keep it real with you? Can I be raw with you? Because the truth is, success ain't about the stuff. It ain't about the status. It's about the state of your soul. Success is only as sweet as the gratitude you carry with it. Say this with me. Gratitude is my ground. Yes, yes. See, I didn't wake up powerful. I didn't wake up on a mountaintop. I woke up in mess. I woke up in lack. I woke up in shame. But I also woke up with a decision to no longer let my past write my future, to no longer let forgotten me, but something inside of me, a whisper, a flicker of light, said, Lisa, don't give up. Be grateful you're still standing. And I said out loud, I am grateful for breath. I am grateful for my baby. I am grateful for this moment, even if it hurts. That was the beginning, not of my career, but of my courage. Gratitude doesn't require comfort. It requires courage. It's easy to be thankful when you win, but can you give praise in the pain? Can you raise your hands in the hallway before the door is opened? Baby, that's the real test, because your gratitude will prophesy your breakthrough. It will call forward your success, and it didn't have to keep me from becoming who I was born to be. And that first decision wasn't about a job. It wasn't about a check. It was about learning to be grateful even before the breakthrough. Somebody say, grateful before the goal. Say it again like your life depends on it. Now let me tell you about a time I had to practice that. I had just $11.42 to my name. I was a single mother standing in front of the mirror with tears running down my face. I remember holding my baby boy in my arms, and y'all, I couldn't afford diapers. I had to wrap him in a towel for 2 days. 2 days. And in that moment, I felt like the world had. Gratitude shifts the mindset and expands the vision. Let me tell you something real, something that will shake your soul awake and remind you of what you already know deep down. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a frequency. A divine vibration that calls more abundance into your life. And once I learned to tap into that, baby, everything changed. Not overnight, but over time, with intention, with consistency, with truth. Because when I was still struggling, when I had eviction notices on my door and dreams too big for my bank account, I began to speak gratitude into the cracks of my brokenness. I began to thank God in thanks for the victory I hadn't seen yet. I praised my future like it was my present, and that rewired my mind, rewrote my story, and rebuilt my vision from the inside out. And let me tell you, there's a power that awakens in you when you stop waiting to feel grateful and start choosing to be grateful no matter what. And yes, I know the world will give you every excuse to complain, to compare, to collapse, but I came to remind you that comparison is a thief and gratitude is your shield, your sanctuary. And I remember one night when I was exhausted from trying to build a life for me and my son, tired of pretending to be okay, sitting in the dark because the electricity had been shut off again, and I looked at my boy sleeping on the couch and I whispered through tears, I'm grateful for this moment because it's not the end of my story. And you better believe that moment was sacred. That moment was transformational because I stopped looking at what I didn't have and started seeing what I did have. My breath, my baby, my bounce back. And if you hear nothing else from me today, hear this. Your ability to see light in the darkness is your superpower. Your choice to be grateful when it doesn't make sense becomes training, and every delay becomes divine preparation for the next level of your calling. So I want you to stop asking, why me? And start saying, try me. Try me because I'm stronger than I think. Try me because I was built for this. Try me because every breakdown I've had has been preparing me for a breakthrough so big that I won't even recognize the version of me that doubted if I could do it. And right now, right here, I want you to say this out loud with me. I am not my mistakes. I am not my struggle. I am not my fear. I am my faith. I am my fire. I am my forward motion. And I am grateful for all of it. Declaration of faith. And don't you dare underestimate the energy that kind of faith releases into the atmosphere. Because the universe doesn't respond to begging. It responds to belief. And when you walk through life saying thank you, even when it hurts, even when you're scared, even when the outcome looks uncertain, you shift your entire emotional chemistry, you shift your perspective, and ultimately you shift your outcome. Because gratitude doesn't just change what you see, it changes how you see and when you see your life as a classroom instead of a courtroom. Every loss becomes a lesson. Every trial, again, louder this time. Like your destiny is listening, like your breakthrough is waiting, because it is. And it's not waiting for you to be perfect. It's waiting for you to be perfect, to show up messy but willing, unsure but committed, scared but standing anyway. And baby, that's what real gratitude looks like. It's not pretty, it's powerful. And when you harness that, when you embrace that, your vision expands. Your hope grows muscles, your purpose becomes clear, and you start walking through life not just surviving, but soaring, not just existing, but exhaling joy, because you understand that gratitude isn't the reward, it's the requirement, it's the foundation, the fire, and the fuel that will carry you to the kind of success that isn't just visible to the world, but valuable to your soul. Let me know when you're ready for part 3, and I'll keep the momentum going with another passionate single paragraph segment that dives deeper into building success from the inside out with gratitude at the core, healing through gratitude, turning wounds into wisdom. Now let's go deeper. Let's step into the space most people avoid. The space where your wounds live, the space where your doubts hide, the space where your past whispers things like, you'll never be enough and you'll always be stuck. And let me tell you something that shifted everything for me. Gratitude is what turns your wounds into wisdom. Gratitude is what takes your pain and polishes it into power. And baby, that power doesn't come from pretending everything is okay. It comes from acknowledging what hurt and still choosing to rise, still choosing to heal, still choosing to say thank you for the lesson. Even while the tears are still drying on your cheeks, because healing isn't a straight line, it's a sacred spiral. And every time you circle back, you rise a little higher, you see a little clearer, you love a little deeper. And when I think about my own healing, I remember the nights I cried myself to sleep, feeling unworthy, overlooked, and ashamed of the mistakes I made, ashamed of what I accepted, ashamed of the version of me who didn't know her worth. But gratitude pulled me out, not guilt, not punishment, not perfection. Gratitude, because I began to say, thank you, God, for not letting that mistake take me out. Thank you for letting me learn through that relationship. Thank you for giving me another day to try again. And that kind of gratitude doesn't ignore the pain. It transforms it. It says, yes, I hurt, but I'm healing, it says. Yes, I broke, but I'm rebuilding, it says. Yes, I lost, but I'm still loving, still learning, still leaning into the woman I was born to be. And I need you to understand this right here. Every scar you carry is proof that you survived something that tried to destroy you. And the enemy of your soul wanted to keep you stuck in shame. But gratitude is your weapon. It is your holy rebellion. Your reminder that you are not what happened to you. You are what you chose to become after it. So don't hide your story. Don't shrink from your struggle. Don't silence the parts of you that ache. Bring them to the altar of gratitude and let them become your testimony. Because the world needs your real, not your polished. The world needs your power, not your pretense. And someone out there is waiting to hear how you turned your breakdown into a breakthrough, how you took the ashes and built something beautiful, how you found your voice after losing your way. So I need you to stop being ashamed of your past and start being grateful for the strength it gave you, because everything you've been through was not wasted. It was woven, it was wild, it was worthy. And now it's yours to own, to share, to shine with. Because they started seeing the good instead of always pointing out the flaws. They started honoring the presence instead of focusing on the imperfections. And when you can look at your partner and say, thank you for showing up, thank you for your effort, thank you for the love you give in the way you know how, you create a space for more love to grow. And that applies to every relationship you've got, even the hard ones, even the ones that hurt, because sometimes the most powerful form of gratitude is the one you give after closure. The one that says, thank you for the lesson, I release you now. And when the foundation of gratitude, owning your beginning family, I want you to lean in close. I want you to hear me, not just with your ears, but with your spirit. Because what I'm about to share with you is not just a message, it's a movement. It's a heart-led revolution of truth, transformation, and total life shift. And it begins not with success, but with gratitude. Now let me ask you something, and don't just nod your head, say it with me. How many of y'all have ever prayed for the very thing you now complaining about? Oh yeah, I said it, I went there. I remember when I used to pray just to be able to pay the light bill on time. Our journey. But before we take another step, I want you to feel this truth in your bones. You are already winning. You woke up. You're still here. You still believe. And that, my friend, is the first layer of success. The rest, we'll build it together. One step, one story, one truth at a time. Are you ready? Say it with me. I am grateful. I am grounded. And I am going higher. Gold applies abundance, living from overflow. Now listen, if you really want to elevate, if you want to stop living from a place of lack and start living in overflow, you gotta stop chasing more and start honoring what you already have, because here's what I know for sure. What you appreciate appreciates, and what you ignore begins to fade. And baby, too many people are walking around looking for the next big blessing while overlooking the miracles sitting in plain sight. And I had to learn that too, because back in the day I was so focused on what I didn't have that I couldn't see what was already working for me. I was praying for abundance while overlooking the abundance that was already in my life, like my peace, my resilience, my smile, my hustle, my friends who loved me when I didn't love myself. And when I started practicing gratitude daily, not just on good days, not just on holidays, but every single day, that's when everything changed. Because gratitude has a way of unlocking doors money can't open. It has a way of aligning you with favor, with opportunity, with divine timing. And I want you to hear me loud and clear when I say this. Gratitude isn't passive, it's powerful, it's proactive. It's a bold declaration that says, I recognize the good, and because I recognize it, I will receive more of it. So if you want more love, be grateful for the love you've got. If you want more joy, be grateful for the moments that already made you smile. If you want more financial abundance, be grateful for the small checks and the big lessons, because when you are faithful over little, the universe will trust you with much. And I had to shift from living in scarcity to living in celebration. I had to start seeing my life is already enough instead of not quite there. And let me tell you, that shift didn't just change my emotions, it changed my bank account, it changed my relationships, in miracles, in meaning, in moments that matter. So I dare you to walk into every space like you're already enough, like you've already won, like you've already been blessed beyond measure. Because baby, that's the kind of confidence that comes from a soul rooted in gratitude. Not arrogance, not ego, gratitude. And when you live like that, when you breathe like that, when you speak like that, people feel you, the world honors you, and God begins to pour into you in ways you never even, because you're not waiting to give something to feel blessed. You're showing up like you already are. And that energy is magnetic. It's changed how I showed up in rooms I once felt too small to be in. And you know why? It is because gratitude doesn't just prepare you for abundance, it proves you're ready for it. And when you live from a grateful heart, you attract blessings with your energy, with your posture, with your spirit. And people start noticing your light. They start opening doors. They start wanting to be around you, not because you're flashy, but because your presence feels like peace. Your energy feels like purpose. Your vibe feels like victory. And that only comes from gratitude. That comes from knowing that you're already rich, not just in money, but healing, it's transformative. So go ahead and say this with me. I am grateful. And because I am grateful, I am in overflow. Say it again. I am grateful. And because I am grateful, I am in overflow. And believe it, feel it, walk in it. Because that is the truth of who you are when you harness the power and gratitude for success. Gratitude heals relationships, starting with you. Let me tell you something powerful, something that can shift your whole world from the inside out. Gratitude will transform your relationships, not just with others, but with you. Because the truth is, baby, the longest relationship you will ever have is the one sharpens your standards. It teaches you to stop begging for crumbs when you were born to sit at the feast. It helps you let go of toxic connections, not out of anger, but out of alignment, because you realize your peace is too precious to sacrifice for temporary validation. And that goes for friends, lovers, co-workers, even family. When you are rooted in gratitude, you stop chasing people and start cherishing yourself. And let me tell you, I've watched entire marriages, business partnerships, distant bonds heal, not because someone gave more money or more gifts, but because someone gave more gratitude. Because they started seeing the good instead of always pointing out the flaws. They started honoring the presence instead of focusing on the imperfections. And when you can look at your partner and say, thank you for showing up, thank you for your effort, thank you for the love you give in the way you know how, you create a space for more love to grow. And that applies to every relationship you've got, even the hard ones, even the ones that hurt. Because sometimes the most powerful form of gratitude is the one you give after closure. The one that says, thank you for the lesson, I release you now. And it was in those moments, not the highlight reels, but the hard ones, that I had to reach deeper for gratitude. Because gratitude is not just something you practice when everything's going good. It's something you dig for when nothing makes sense. And I remember sitting in my apartment years ago, lights off, eviction notice on the door, baby on my hip, tears running down my face. And I had to search hard. I had to close my eyes and whisper, thank you for breath. Thank you for my son's life. Thank you for another day to try again. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy, but that moment right there became they're trying. I see you. And I want you to know that every time you choose to say thank you, even through tears, even through pain, you are declaring, I am not done. You are declaring, I still have fight in me. And that gratitude, that decision is not weakness. It's warrior work. It's spiritual resistance against giving up. And I need you to remember this. Gratitude is not ignoring your pain. It's inviting your power. It's saying, this may be my now, but it's not my forever. As I may bend, but I will not break. And that, my friend, is the essence of success. Not the money, not the accolades, but ability to keep choosing gratitude when everything in you wants to quit. The ability to keep believing that something better is ahead, even when you can't see it yet. And if nobody told you today, let me be the one. You are doing better than you think, and you are stronger than you feel. And if all you did was get out of bed and whisper a thank you, baby, that's a victory. So don't you dare underestimate the power of that moment. Don't you dare think that your gratitude doesn't matter, because that whisper of gratitude became my roar. Because when you choose gratitude in the dark, it becomes the spark that lights your way. And you don't need everything to change before you say thank you. You need to say thank you so you can change everything, because gratitude shifts your perspective. And baby, when you shift your perspective, you shift your power. You start seeing options where there were none, strength where there was only struggle. And I want to talk to the person right now who feels like they're barely holding it together, who feels like nobody sees their effort, nobody knows how hard. And do that when you can love without attachment, forgive without bitterness, and walk away with your peace intact. Baby, that's emotional maturity. That's spiritual growth. That's success. And the only way to get there is through gratitude. So I want you to say this with me. Say it like you mean it. I am grateful for who I am becoming. I am grateful for what I've let go of. And I am grateful for the love I now allow myself to receive. Yes, yes, yes. Because when you love from a place of gratitude, not lack, not desperation, not fear, you'll attract relationships that don't complete you, but celebrate you. And that's what you deserve. Heartbreak, speaking it when we didn't feel it, living it when it wasn't easy. It's time to understand the one thing that ties it all together, and that's this. Gratitude is not just a good feeling. Gratitude is a frequency. It's a level of vibration that aligns you with everything you've been asking for. And I know some folks think it's all just words, but baby, it's not. It's your magnet. It's your miracle maker. It's your activator. Because when you show the universe you're thankful, you unlock more reasons to be. And when you live from that space, from that overflow of acknowledgement, you begin to receive in ways you never imagined. Every thank you whisper is writing a new chapter in your story. One where you rise, one where you win, one where you become the person you were always meant to be. And if you believe that, if you can feel that, then go ahead and shout it loud. I will not stop. I will not break. I will rise, and I will give thanks no matter what. Declothing fire. Gratitude is the gateway to everything you desire. Now, let's bring this home. Let's wrap all this passion, pain, power, and possibility into one deep breath and speak truth to your future. Because after all this talk about gratitude, after pulling it out of the rubble, holding it close in, doors open, relationships shift, ideas pour in, and most of all, you become unshakable. Because the person who lives with daily gratitude can't be derailed by temporary struggle. The person who thinks their past can't be bound by it. The person who honors their journey can't be stopped by a detour. And I want you to feel that in your bones. I want you to let that truth rattle in your chest, because this ain't just motivation, baby. This is transformation. This is the bridge between who you've been and who you are called to be. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from everything we've shared today, it's this. Thankful for everything that made me. I am open to everything that's coming, and I walk forward in grace, joy, and power. Say it, believe it, own it, because this is your time. This is your season. And gratitude is your vehicle. So get in the driver's seat, baby, and go build that vision, go heal that heart, go write that chapter, go live that dream. Because your gratitude has prepared the ground for your greatness. And the only question now is, are you ready to rise? And I already know the answer, because if you've come this far, if you felt you don't have to wait until everything looks perfect to feel grateful. You start now. You start right here. You start with the little things, the breath, the heartbeat, the lessons, the steps. And as you honor the small, you prepare for the big. And let me tell you, it's coming. The abundance, the alignment, the clarity, the success, it's all coming. Not because life suddenly became easy, but because you chose to show up in gratitude, because you decided to live from your power instead of your pain. And I want you to say this out loud wherever you are. Yes, even if you're sitting in traffic or folding laundry, I want you to say, I am. Lives, go dream boldly, go live fully, and every single day return to gratitude, because that's where your power lives. And you're walking, talking, breathing evidence that success built on gratitude is not only possible, it's inevitable. So go out there and shine, baby. Shine like your life depends on it, because someone else's life might just change because you did. So are you ready to rise? And I already know the answer, because if you've come this far, if you felt the tears and the breakthroughs and the shifts in this journey, then yes, you're ready. Yes, you're capable. Yes, you're chosen. And now is your moment to shine. So go out and live like it, love like it, lead like it, because the power is in you, and the gratitude has always been your gateway. Carry the flame. Let gratitude be your daily power tool. Now that we've cried, healed, shouted, remembered, reclaimed, and risen together, I want you to take this flame we built and carry it with you into the rest of your life, because this isn't end. Oh no, baby, this is just the beginning of your next level, your next breakthrough, your next evolution. And if you thought gratitude was just about saying thank you, now you know it's about being thank you, living thank you. It's about showing up with a full heart and bold energy no matter what's coming at you. It's about waking up each morning and declaring, I get to breathe today, I get to try again, I get to grow, I get to forgive, I get to love. And that mindset will make you unstoppable. That attitude will separate you from the crowd, because while others are waiting for the perfect moment to feel joy, you've learned to create it. And while others complain about what's wrong, you'll celebrate what's right, because you're not chasing happiness anymore, you're cultivating it. And the key that unlocked that for you was gratitude. Not some fancy trick or miracle formula, but simply the daily choice to pause, breathe, and honor what is. And now that you know that, you can walk into any room with peace. You can face any challenge with perspective, and you can lead with humility and fire at the same time. Because you've done the inner work And don't you ever forget how far you've come. Don't you minimize your journey, your bounce backs, your get back up again moments, because you earned this light. You earned this peace. And every setback, every no, every painful goodbye, every lonely night made you stronger, made you wiser, made you ready. And now you have the sacred responsibility to use your power to bless others, to speak life, to lift the room when you walk in, to be the thermostat, not the thermometer, to lead with grace, grit, and gratitude. And if you're wondering how to keep it going, let me make it plain. Make gratitude a daily discipline. Write it, speak it, live it, even when it's inconvenient, especially when it's inconvenient, because that's when it transforms you the most. And don't keep it to yourself. Teach it, share it, model it for your kids, your community, your co-workers, because when you lead from gratitude, your success becomes sustainable, your relationships become richer, your vision becomes clearer, and you become magnetic to the kind of opportunities that don't just change your life, they multiply your impact. And if you can feel that, if you're ready to take everything we've unpacked and walk it out, and say it with me one last time: I am powerful, I am grateful, I am ready. Because you've done the inner work. Now go build the outer world. Go touch.